Mr. Perry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Estevez, the Institute of Forensic Sciences, I'm sure you're familiar, located in East Turkestan, used to aid and assist in the genocide and the experimentation on the Uyghurs. I'm curious about your delisting that entity in November of last year. Can you walk me through that, the rationale?
Thank you, Congressman Perry. First, the listing was for human rights violations, as you note. We, of course, and I shouldn't say of course, we take human rights concerns seriously. There are 70 or so parties on the entity list related to human rights violations. This institute, which is a Chinese state organization engaged in crime control, it was certainly engaged in bad things with regard to the Uyghurs. In fact, receives no exports of note. Like a couple of things.
Look, that's all like superfluous background information. I'm asking about.
But it's pertinent to the fact that you're asking about. So the delisting of that went through process. The normal process requires a 4-0 vote across the interagency. It got a 4-0 vote, and as a result of that, the Chinese have engaged in cooperation for stopping fentanyl precursors from flowing to Mexico and other places.
That's working out real well. So what I'm interested in, okay, so it got a 4-0 vote. I don't care about that. That's groupthink or whatever.
150 Americans dead a day from fentanyl.
Yeah, I know, and they keep dying more and more. The point is that's not working. The Chinese gave us lip service, and we delisted this organization that is hiding the fact that they're using the Uyghur for genetic experimentation and then manipulation and potentially warfare against them and us. But that aside, tell me about what factors went into the decision.
The factors that went into the decision related to Chinese cooperation related to fentanyl precursor, stopping fentanyl precursors.
So it relates to the fentanyl precursor manufacture, delivery to Mexico, and so on and so forth. How is that being measured? What's the metric of success that says if we delist, you're going to do this, and this is measurable? How? Is it in the deaths of Americans that's increasing every year by fentanyl or not?
It's in stopping the deaths of Americans, Congressman.
So is that working? Are you saying that we're stopping the deaths of fentanyl? Is that your testimony?
I'm saying that we're stopping the flow of precursors related to this action.
You were stopping, so that's your testimony. The precursors are being stopped. The precursors of fentanyl are being stopped because of this.
That's the goal, Congressman.
I'm sorry?
That's the goal, Congressman.
I get it's the goal.
Yeah.
That's a great goal. But when it doesn't happen, because China says, yeah, we'll do it.
If it doesn't happen, then we can turn that around.
So how many deaths are we going to wait? How many does that cost?
As you know, Congressman, it doesn't, just like any other thing with control.
Well, look, I'm just looking for the metrics, sir. I'm not trying to be difficult, but
I'm going to turn it over to Undersecretary Fernandez to tell you how.
Well, I got other questions for Secretary Fernandez, but I think
Well,
I'm sorry?
We run the process for delisting. The actions that are taken are being done in other agencies other than my own.
Yeah, so that everybody can do this and people can keep dying. Mr. Fernandez, regarding the DOE's decision on LNG exports of January of this year, did you object to the decision?
No.
So you act as though we've had other reviews, and this is similar to that one, but on the other reviews that have occurred, has there been any pause as a relation to the review?
I can't tell you what has been.
Let me tell you, there have been none. So right now we're talking about the pause that's happening is for contracts that are being bid for 2030. For 2030, let me ask you this. The other countries that we might be competing with or that are strategic adversaries to the United States, to say the least, do you think that they're concerned with environmental justice issues when they make considerations about their LNG production and exports? Like Iran, do you think that's a topic for Iran?
By 2030, right now, with the existing guidance, we will have doubled.
It doesn't
Okay,
matter,
hold on,
sir.
Let me finish. Let me finish, please. And clean energy and climate are critical issues to this administration. Now, we can argue about climate change. We can get into that. But as far as we are concerned,
So my question
it
for
is the
you,
existential challenge of our time.
It's great if it's doubled, tripled, quadrupled. That's irrelevant to me. The question is what other countries that we're competing with are considering environmental justice? Countries like Iran.
It is not about environmental justice.
Well, it says so.
If I may,
That's one of the considerations, wasn't it?
If I may,
Sir?
if I may.
I'm listening.
It is not about environmental justice. It's about
So that was
climate
not one of the
change.
considerations?
It is not about, and again, we are doubling.
I'm just asking, sir, was that one of the considerations?
Which one? Environmental?
Environmental justice in the pause.
One of the considerations was to allow DOE, the Department of Energy, to conduct an assessment based on changed
And was
circumstances.
one of the things that they were assessing environmental justice?
You will have to ask DOE.
You're the sir. It says energy in your title. Don't you know this?
You will have to ask. DOE is conducting the assessment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield.